I came back from graduate school to work with two professors who were doing a study, research study of voters in Ontario. And I came as a research assistant for them in the summers when I was in graduate school. And obviously I was looking for an academic job. That was my plan going to graduate school, that I was going to be a professor. And York was hiring at that point, and so I applied. And why York? I had very much enjoyed my time at York. And so I thought I would enjoy working there as well. Turned out I was right. I was a student for 4 years, and then I worked here for 42 years. So all sorts of activities. I played on the soccer team for a couple of years. Professors are the ones I remember best, I think. And in particular, I guess I would single out Selwyn Ryan, who was a professor who first persuaded me that I ought to go to graduate school. Vicky and I met originally on campus. We got to know each other more gradually over time, serving on committees occasionally together and just knowing one another because it was a small department, small campus, even as York began to grow. I think the first date we actually had was to go to hear a Nana Muscuri concert at Toronto Island. And then we started seeing each other, and at one point it became clear that she was finished her coursework, she was going to work on a dissertation, she would go back to the US because her student visa was running out. And I thought, well, if she's going to stay here and if I want to marry her, I'd better make a move now. And so I proposed, and we got married soon thereafter. Vicky and I think, felt that it was desirable to give something back to York because it had been the place where we had both studied and spent our working lives. And as I said to somebody else recently, almost everyone we know is at the university in some capacity, or was. Our family, we know, but other than that, our friends are mostly made through the university. So giving back to York was a perfectly reasonable thing to do, I think. Both of us had a great faith in education and the importance of education. Both of us came from families where our parents had not gone to post-secondary education, but we had thought it was important to do so, and we had benefited from it. And I think we found that the university was a desirable place to be, and education was a good thing to value. And Vicky and I decided to establish a couple of scholarships in our will. And so actually won't be funded properly until I pass on to the pages of history. One is in politics, because that was where we both studied, and the other is in history, because Vicky did a joint degree in history and politics when she was an undergraduate. The history department may decide to privilege people who are studying diplomatic history or women's history in the award they make. I'm pleased that we're getting it together. I'm a little bit surprised. Vicky would have been even more surprised, I think, more surprised, but glad that somehow or other she was being recognized as someone who had both studied at York and contributed to York, and was continuing to contribute to York when she passed away. So I think it is heartening for me, and it was for both of us very pleasing.